President Trump this morning denying that he gave any moral equivalency to white supremacists in Charlottesville with those protesting them and all they stand for. Except here's a problem with that argument, Mr. President. Those were your own words. It comes as the president steps up attacks on senators from his own party. Joining us now, Michael Dyson, professor and author of Here's We Cannot Stop, A Sermon to White America, and also Brunell Donald-Kyei, former vice chair of diversity outreach for the National Diversity Coalition for Trump. It is very nice to have you both here on a very important morning once again. Professor, let me begin with you because this morning the president remains unapologetic. The word is, from our reporting, no resignations are expected from those close to him at the White House. You have Republicans in Congress largely in hiding, at least when it comes to actually calling out this president by name. So is this president, and a lot of, by the way, pretty high approval still among Republicans, over 80%. Is he getting a pass?
Oh, I think so. I mean, the reality is that people are complicit with this president who has refused to acknowledge that he has done an extraordinarily awful thing here. So in typical fashion, he is defensive. He is attacking his own people, his own party, perhaps even his own staff members, as opposed to acknowledging, like any mature adult would do, I made a mistake, let me then clarify what I did.
Except that is how he ran and he won.
Well, absolutely right, but it doesn't make it right. It makes it effective, but now the efficacy of it is being challenged because he is now amplifying some of the most heinous bigotry that we've seen manifest in this country in a long while and at the top of the food chain.
Speaking of amplifying, guys in the control room, can we pull up the cover of The Economist? Because I want you both to be able to see, and Brunell, let me know if you can't see this, but this is the new cover of The Economist, which is hardly, a leftist rag. I mean, this is a center-right publication with the president holding a bullhorn that is a hood, a KKK hood. And Brunell, Chris just did this fascinating interview with Ellie, the reporter from Vice, who was embedded, with the white supremacists down in Charlottesville. And here's what she said about how those white supremacists are reacting to how the president has responded to all of this.
They love him. They love him. I mean, this is one of the only groups in America where Trump is routinely exceeding expectations. When he said that, when he essentially defended him, one texted me saying, God bless this man. He truly does have our backs.
Now, you've said on this program this week you hate everything that they stand for. But how do you square the two when these guys are saying we love what the president is saying about us?
Well, I'll square it like this. These people are a minuscule, small, petty part of our population. They do not reflect the entirety of our nation. And I'll say that our president there are a lot of people who are happy with what our president is doing as far as our economy, immigration, jobs.
Not what I'm talking about, though. Come on, let's stick on this issue that is about the morality of this country. All right, about that issue, your response is?
Well, I'll tell you this, that what's going on in the country, there's been a morality problem in the country for a long time. This didn't just come with the President Donald J. Trump. And these people who are now being magnified in the media as if they are a core support of Donald Trump, it's not true. Donald Trump was put in office by people across the spectrum, different religions, people who were sick and tired of the politicians.
But is he not further dividing us? I take your point. No, I take your point that this has been a consistent problem in America. That's not the question. The question is the president unifying the country in that? Is he said one word that did not further divide the country after Charlottesville?
Yes, I believe that he has said plenty of words that of no division. And basically what he said is what matters is the red, white, and blue. What matters is that
That's not what he said. That's not what he said, Professor.
He said that in his speeches.
It's just not what he said. I mean, facts matter. Facts matter. His words matter so much.
They do.
And his words, Professor, were both sides. On many sides,
yes.
Both sides were to blame.
Well, of course. And this equivalency between white supremacists, bigots, neo-Nazis, and people who are protesting it is what the man said himself. So despite what Sister Brunell is trying to argue here, the president's own words condemn him. He has an inability to acknowledge his faults, Then he goes forward to deny what he did. And then when people like Ms. Brunell speak about it, they're complicit in the very mendacity, the very lying, the very inability to tell the truth that America is made on. And the man's words himself condemn him. And you're trying to talk about red, white, and blue when he was talking about white versus black. And he was talking about white supremacy and bigotry. He was talking about white supremacy and bigotry, reinforcing the kind of hate that we see in this nation.
For now.
We are tired of the division. This nation wants to heal. All the races want to heal. The majority of us who love this country and the freedom that it stands for, we are tired of the bickering back and forth. The president said that there was problems on all sides. Imagine your fellow journalists had urine and feces thrown on top of them, and nobody's condemned that. No one said that, and that wasn't the white supremacists. That was Antifa.
Brunell, the white
throwing,
hold on. All right,
Brunell. Feces on
Brunell,
people.
no one is
So
defending.
come on, let's
no one is defending
all.
throwing
Let's
urine,
condemn it
etc.
all.
But there is a strong difference between people fighting for equality and people fighting for wiping out people off of this earth
They
and
all
out of
had
this
weapons
country.
down there, though.
That is,
you know
and,
that.
Brunell,
routine-
Brunell,
Both
who
sides.
killed Heather Heyer? Who killed Heather Heyer?
Yes, somebody died, and I understand
No,
that. And of
who
course, our
killed
condolences
Heather
to the
Heyer, a
family.
white supremacist
I believe that
and
there was,
sympathizer
yes.
murder
I'm not saying that
Heather
that was
Heyer.
right.
I wish-
Where
I
is
didn't
the
say that it was
equivalency
right.
in that?
I didn't say it was right.
Where's
But what
the
I'm telling you
equivalency, though?
is
You're saying they
were
both
down
had
there
weapons.
armed. They
You're
were armed. They didn't come to just protest. They came armed as well to counter protest. That's what I'm saying.
If Brunell, wait, hold on, you've been talking, Brunell. If Brunell could be
unequivocally-
just as outraged at the kind of white supremacy bigotry that's manifest here as her
I am
own
outraged.
intemperate remarks in regard to trying to exaggerate what happened down
I'm
there
very
with a few.
temperate.
What about the routine excretion of feces rhetorically in tweets every morning about 5:30 in the morning? This president is incapable of restraint,
talking
of
about
deferred
actual
gratification.
feces and
We're
urine
talking
on
about
people. Are you kidding me?
actual bombardment of rhetorical nastiness unleashed upon the American people. That's what this president does every day. The inability to acknowledge what he is doing, the inability to tell the truth about what's happening here, and your stunning inability to tell the truth fundamentally. You look like you're complicit
You know
in the
what?
very
The race
lying that's
baiting
going
has
on
to
in this nation.
stop. Our
There's no
children
race
need
baiting.
jobs. They
People
don't need
die.
you to race bait, sir.
The
They
left
need you
wing
to
did
help
not
them
kill
get
Hold on,
anybody
guys.
there.
I want
The
everyone to
right-wing
hear
did.
your arguments.
Approach
I
the
want it
president.
one at a time.
Help the nation. You're not helping. You're race baiting.
How
I'm not
can we,
race
hold
baiting
on,
at all.
Young people.
Hold on,
They're
Brunell.
dying out there.
Brunell.
They're dying. They
Brunell.
need jobs.
Brunell.
Hatred.
Brunell, Brunell, how is the
I'm
president
done.
helping in this right now? How is he helping in this?
What I'll tell you, he's got 1 million new jobs in the economy. He's busy working these NAFTA deals that our poor and middle class can have jobs,
As long as he brings jobs, he can be a bigot. As long as he brings jobs, he can be a racist. As long as he brings jobs, he can make an equivalency between morally reprehensible facts. She's been talking. Wait a minute. She's been talking. I've been kind. She's been
Let me
talking.
finish. I'd like to complete my statement.
finish.
When Donald Trump, before he ran for office, he was giving money to all these politicians, blacks, whites, all of them. He wasn't a racist then. He didn't become a racist until they knew that he was going to win that election when the American
Not at
people
all.
stood
Can
up
I respond?
tall and said,
May I
"We're
respond?
sick
Let's
of the
let the
politicians."
professor respond.
Ask Al Sharpton.
Professor
Ask
respond.
Reverend Jackson.
Hold
all
on.
of these people will
Brunell?
tell you he gave them money when nobody would give them money.
Brunell, your voices are
Stop
both
with the
very
race baiting.
your voices are very important for everyone to hear, so I want them to hear them. Professor, your response.
He
My
was a race
apologies.
bait. He was a race baiter when he was going after Barack Obama as an illegitimate citizen of the United States of America. He was a race baiter when he led the birther movement. He was a race baiter when he talked about Mexicans as
Hillary
rapists.
Clinton.
He was a race baiter when he
Hold
talked
on,
about
Brunell,
Muslims
facts.
and Islamic people as being demonized. He was a race baiter from the very beginning. So the amplification of his bigotry is no surprise, but nonetheless disparaging and dispiriting. And if Brunell
And
would wake
the
up and
hate in
smell
your
the coffee
voice is a
that
form
has
of
no
bigotry,
cream,
too.
she would see the unvarnished hatred that has been revealed.
Brunell, you just questioned a
I hear
fact.
the hatred in your voice.
Brunell, hold on.
Not at all.
Let me get
Passion,
my
baby.
question. Let
Passion.
me get my question in there.
Intelligence with
hatred.
passion.
Let me get my
And it's
Fire.
dividing the nation.
Let me
Dropping bombs on you.
Guys,
hatred is
we have plenty
dividing
of
the
time,
nation, sir.
but I'm not going to continue this if you don't let me ask a question. Okay. Brunell, you just questioned a fact
Yes,
that the
ma'am.
professor made,
Sure.
which is that President Trump, as civilian Trump, before he was a candidate, time and time again, with no basis in fact, questioned where President Obama was born and what religion he ascribed to. That is on President Trump and President Trump alone. You said Hillary Clinton.
What
Back that up.
Yes. Yes, of course, we know the news came out that Hillary Clinton's camp started that birther.
That's
and
not
it's
true.
unfortunate
That's
because
not
it
true.
doesn't
As
fit
you know,
the-
there was
it- but
one.
that is
There
true, and you can
was
do the
one
research.
email
I'm not gonna come
question
on your show
circulated
and
years
just
and
lie.
years ago.
I don't
can
do that.
play for you back to back to back to back to back the times the president went on the national media before he was running, and he said over and over again, something's up with that birth certificate. Where was he born? What religion is he? That's on President Trump, is it not?
Absolutely.
What
The
I'll tell you is
bigotocracy
that
is deeply
there
entrenched in America. And you can be a
Well, the
black person
hypocrisy is on
reinforcing
both
bigotry.
sides, sir.
The lesson
If
we
you're gonna
learned
call
today, white
anybody a
supremacy has
hypocrite,
no preference for skin.
If I may respond,
Please. Please.
the bigotry and the hatred and the hypocrisy is on both sides. That's with the GOP as well as with the Democratic Party. It's so much anger and hatred and jealousy because this president actually stood up for the nation and won against elites who are used to living off the backs of the people. The hatred and the vitriol is this way because the Democratic Party didn't win. And so what I'm going to say is this. We have got to take our nation back. We've got to get rid of this hate
Are
and
you
anger
blaming-
and unforgiveness
Let me
and
just
move
ask Brunell a
forward.
quick question.
Who's
You
we?
said
Anybody that's-
hold on. You
anybody
just
that's
said
espousing
Brunell.
hate like
Brunell,
you, sir.
you just said Brunell.
You're espousing
Brunell,
hate.
respectfully, you just said the hatred and the vitriol is this way because of the Democrats. Are you saying that the KKK
Because
and
of
the
the law.
neo-Nazis and the white supremacists went and carried out this horror that is a national tragedy in Charlottesville
Or voted for Hillary
because of
Hillary Clinton?
Democrats?
What
Yeah.
I'm telling you is that the hatred and the vitriol of the white supremacists, that's been decades and decades. And it didn't just come about because Donald J. Trump became president.
That's not what we're
They
saying.
were
We're
marching
talking
and
about
doing
the
all
way
of
he
these things as
responded.
well. They were
We're
doing
talking-
this under
I
the
am
former
asking
president.
you about the way he responded,
She can't.
Brunell.
George-
When
Yes.
you come out
Mhm.
and you say that it is both sides, just like the president did,
Yes.
that is putting them on the
Yes.
same ground. That is saying that people that
It's
want individuals like you and the professor off this planet are on the same ground as those who are fighting against everything that stands for. Help our viewers understand that.
Okay.
She can't. She
Let
has
me
no
help you
words.
understand
It's
that.
thin.
Excuse me, sir. I've been
You've
taught
been
to respect
talking all
my
along.
elders,
I haven't
but
even been able to get a word in
appreciate it if you-
edgewise. All I'm
Hey,
saying to
she
you,
asked me
you
a
are the
question. You need to
manifestation of
talk
the
to the
lethal
moderator.
intensity of the internalization of self-hatred,
You are
spoken loudly
absolutely
and amplified
false.
without
You are
regret.
a race baiter, sir, and our
No,
young people
that's
need
a
jobs.
hackneyed
They
phrase.
don't
What is
need
a race
hate.
baiter?
They need you
I'm
to
an
go
author.
to the
20 books I
table,
dropped. What
talk
you
to the
got? What you
president,
got for
and
me?
help them get jobs.
Ma'am,
They need
all I'm
jobs.
telling
They're
you,
hurting.
I'm teaching,
They're on the
writing,
corner.
preaching.
They're
I got
in
a
the
lot of
prison.
jobs.
They're in the morgue.
Brunell,
We're talking
professor,
about today.
Brunell, professor,
Our young people need help.
you will both be
You-
back.
you're-
Self-hatred manifests with
You
lethal
will
Clout
both
for help.
you will both be back together. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much.
Bless you. Holla.
God bless you and God bless America.